Boom, boom. Little Johnny Tack versus Punk.
We'll see how he differs against the likes of Punk here in the matchup. Already putting Karen to the corner, forward throw.
Yeah, I mean, this is where this character shines, right?
It's funny that there was such a fucking like barrage of Rashid players that Punk had to fight against, which is like always one of those matchups where you never know how he's gonna do, right? Yeah, Demon Flip's a great special move. Although to be fair, like, what's it called? It's not like there aren't other EX special moves that are super good. When you could throw tech with EX Demon Flip, it was probably the best special move in the game. Oh boy, it still might be actually. I think he was waiting for the activation, so Punk didn't hit a button after right for a while. He was like, all right. That crouching heavy punch going through like that is what cost him some games later on in this tournament. We'll watch it. We'll get there in a second, but yeah, I got caught jumping. The worst part, oh man, he should have killed him. Twice in this round. This is really just, this is player error here, and then this is the same thing. If he does EX uppercut, he might have got him, but he did jump medium kick. I wonder if he tried an eagle spike. I'm not sure. But that was a couple of errors from Punk. Man, my nose is all beat up. Hold on. My nose gets like this when I travel a lot. Give me 1 second. On the topic of Karen, I mentioned that yesterday that I thought that Karen is, you know, she's really good this season, and I think that's part of why Punk maybe didn't have a great season last season, is that Karen was a little worse, and some of her problem matchups were some of the better characters you had to watch out for, right? And some people were like, Karen wasn't bad last season. What are you talking about, right? And the thing is that it's not that Karen was like a really bad character last season. Or season 1, 2, or this season, right? Like, Karen has always been a good character. Just last version, it was really hard for her because Rashid and Abigail were super great, right? Both of those characters were so strong. And even Cammy and what's it called, Ibuki were great too, right? They were super buff last season. And so Karen, it's not that she was a bad character, it's just that, you know, she was not the same as she was in season 2, where she just could overwhelm anybody. Or even in this version, where I think she's a little stronger and those characters are a little weaker. That was miss confirm again, and also miss combo from John, and also miss combo from Punk, and whiff on the throw punish, and nothing there. I could have killed him. It happens. Even at the highest of level, this is top 4 of a premier event, and people are making all kinds of mistakes, right? It happens. This is what happened. Both of these players could hit those combos and punishes a million billion times. But then, you know, in the heat of the moment in tournament, it's hard. That's why people say, like, even if the execution of a game is not difficult, people will still drop combos, right? Because tournament nerves and tournament jitters and dropping shit in under pressure will always be a thing.
And a very kind of sloppy one at that, especially a lot of these drop combos that could get Punk, you know, rounds that he's just leaving on the table. Spaghetti everywhere. Yeah, all over the place.
Someone said it's monitor lag. Yeah, I'm sure it's monitor lag when every other round of the top 8 looks perfectly normal, and then they just drop a bunch of stuff. Maybe, I don't know. What do I know? It's always monitor lag when people drop combos, but they're always amazing players when they hit all the combos, right? They should have turned the monitor to 720p because 1080p mode causes additional pylons to spawn, and then you can't harvest the amount of resources necessary to make the monitor not lag. I say confirm. Monitor must have been working at that second. I don't know, dude. I feel like the setup they use for CPT is the same like 99% of the time. I mean, for US tournaments, right? And for there to actually be some kind of lag or something, I'd be pretty surprised. Like, what would cause the lag? It's just a monitor, a standard monitor they use for every tournament, and a PS4, right?
Yeah, push himself out, right? I mean, he could use
What am I talking about? I'm making fun of people in the chat. Don't worry about it.
option off of the command dash, right?
Yeah, and Karen builds so much meter so fast, right, that she spends it all the time.
You see, defensive backdash is something that Punk does a lot in the corner in this tournament. And final round too, actually, I guess I should point out.
Oh, what a perfect time to jump out. Committed with the heavy button was
I don't know, maybe there is monitor lag, but there are things you can do to measure it. And every time they measure it, that was a great punish. Yeah, perfect. And the back throw for the dizzy, clean it up.
Punk cleans it up.
Nothing's going to go unscathed for Punk. He sees a punish, he's going to maximize it as much as he can. Same with John Takeuchi. These guys have been going back and forth. Very, very entertaining set so far.
Yeah,
That block was great too, because you don't lose anything that badly if you just walk back, right?
Everybody, right? And we saw Punk kind of tighten things up a little bit in that
Damn, that was a fucking gangster whip punish.
He's done the standing light kick from range and then walked back and just
He's just buffering the fierce, or sticking out the fierce there and waiting for it to see if it's gonna hit or not. Man, oh man, that sucks.
And that, you know, that might just kill if he builds up enough meter.
goes for the reset.
I love the back throw there too, because it just builds you the most meter and it's the safest choice.
80 seconds left on the clock. Extremely fast work from Punk.
Yeah, when he's playing like this, he's a machine. It's so difficult. He makes every mistake feel like the end of the round is coming. Just some way, somehow. Even though
This is the problem with Rashid though, is that it puts Punk in the corner early and often, and his whiff punishing game requires him to have space on the screen, right? And if he gets cornered or something, he can, you know, side switch very easily. Rashid can, although Punk can too if he has a bar.
Yeah, he's waiting for that wall jump or not. Heavy kick activate. Stagger the pressure. The throw.
He doesn't even want to spend the view reversal either.
Punk will win with like one more hit too, right? He's pretty close to building critical art. And even without it, he can spend 2 bars on a combo. Well, you're dead. How are you supposed to deal with someone like this who just clips you every time you walk back and forth? Man, oh man, it's hard.
How Punk's been playing. He's just been relentless, an offensive monster, opening up John Takeuchi's defense. He has one more game to try to do it. He has to hang in there.
Yeah, and I mean, you can just.
You know what's funny about Rashid? Rashid's like really good character, right? And he's always been strong, right? Like it's never like he's been a bad character. I tried to play Rashid just for fun and mess around with him. He's such a weird character to play. You know that some characters for me feel naturally very like, oh yeah, you just pick them and they just make sense. When I play Rashid, there's something about him that just doesn't feel right to me, you know? He's a weird character. His game plan is not like confusing or hard to do, but I just don't think his game plan, or I just don't think he feels right when I play him. You know, sometimes that happens. That sucks. He should have done medium eagle spike or something, right? That's the kill. Yeah, that's probably what he should have done last time. Yeah, there are characters like that for everybody. Can I give characters that make sense? I meant for me personally. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, Rashid just doesn't make sense as a character. I'm saying in my hands, right? Like when I play him, man, look at that hit confirm back to back. Like when I play, I don't know, Akuma. Akuma is like very easy for me to just pick up and play, right? I get what he wants to do. Easy for me to just sit down and play him. Colleen too. Colleen is like super easy. Punk's just gonna play it super slow. That's really rough to get hit by. Yeah, I mean, John could win this round. That's why you spin the bar there. Even though it's kind of scary to do, you can win in one more good hit. Yeah, throw or no throw is the mix-up. We talked about how good that eagle spike in the front was earlier.
Great comeback. Great comeback there.
Like that. The same way we've seen him dizzy like 5 times already in this top 8 by faking people out, staying in the front with that eagle spike.
Yeah, Cammy just makes sense. She's easy to play. Ibuki for me is like that too. And Bison. It's not like characters for me that are like hard to play don't make sense. Right? Because it's not about difficulty. I don't think Rashid's game plan is super complicated. It's just he feels weird in my hands. Yeah, John used to play on stick before. Like I was looking at the character select scheme. Yeah, I like Zeku makes sense to me when I play him, and he's like more complicated than Rashid. Colleen is so simple, really.
Spent that bar on the EX mixer, which we were kind of like, okay, we'll see what he's going to do with that. And he just
Nash didn't make sense to you? Yeah, see, that's an example because Nash is pretty straightforward, right, in what he wants to do, but he just doesn't feel right in your hands.
It was super, super well played.
So, I don't know, that's why I played a bunch of Rashid because, you know, he's a very common character, and to understand what the character's goals and intentions are on the ground or in the match, like, playing them helps, right? So that's why for me, when I commentate and I want to learn characters, people often ask me what I like do to prepare, and part of it is playing characters, right? Yeah, we mentioned that earlier off the Rasenha, is it leaves you in a standing reset if you don't finish after the overhead. If you don't hit down plus kick, it leaves you standing reset and back throw is perfect there. You know, G2A Akira, you've made that joke 10 times in a row. Shut the fuck up.
John Takeuchi brought it back last game. He can do so again.
Walks up behind the whiff, takes the throw. And Punk checks the dash with a down jab, stand medium punch. He was looking for counter hit. Whiff into the stand medium punch.
This is the end of times as we know it. When you get cornered by Punk, you almost always just die and lose the round immediately, right? It's very rare. Oh man, it's very rare that it doesn't happen. The only reason Rashid gets away with it against him is because you have to respect the wall escape. If it wasn't for that, right, he could press really, really hard against this character, but you really can't because of the threat of the wall escape. You can't get hit low. And you also can't cancel into... You can't do a whirlwind shot there either, right? Because if you try to cancel a button into a whirlwind shot, he'll react super like we saw him do to Gachikun. That's why when he has meter, he becomes so scary. Any time you randomly don't block low and neutral, you just eat 50%. It's like, what are you supposed to do? You just want to walk back. You need to walk to position yourself on the screen.